mapping. So the finding domain will have a vertical nature. The data will append like, okay, why? Because you have the standard variables like the test CD, results, units, all these, okay. So you have the multiple test means obviously you can append the data. So under test you can have the number of tests. Like under tested you can have the number of tests in the corresponding results and units. Okay, these are the things will be derived. So it means the finding domain data will be in the vertical nature. So most of the studies in the raw data, the data will capture horizontal as a variables, okay. Means the each and every test will capture as a variable. What we need to do from the horizontal, we need to convert vertical. So then we can do the one-to-one mapping, okay. So now tell me from the horizontal to vertical, how we can do the programming. So what we need to do?
Transpose we can convert.
Yeah, great. So the proc transpose we can use. Apart from the proc transpose, can anyone? Is there any other option in the SAS? Is there any other procedure which we are? Is there any steps we can do the programming to convert horizontal to vertical or vertical to horizontal, whatever it may be? Did you know output out method? You know output statement.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we can use the output statement. Also, we can do it. Okay, from the horizontal to vertical, we can do it. And then, do you know do loops? Not do loops. Yeah, do loops and arrays. Do you know arrays?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do loops and arrays also, but we can use the do loops arrays to do that same thing. Okay, so today we'll discuss about the this vital signs domain and then how we can do it. That okay. So when we write the specification vital signs domain, if you remember, we have the three raw data sets. Okay, if you remember, so we have a vital signs. Okay, like raw data VS2, VS3, VS4. So there what are the test series we captured? SysBP, diaBP, temperature, pulse, weight, height. It's a corresponding test, and then the units and everything is here, and the raw variables also here. So whatever the required information we already know. So what we need to do that, we need to do the one-to-one mapping, and then whatever the pre-process the things, we have to do it. Okay. So with that note, okay, I will copy the same program and then edit it. Okay. This domain VS, right? Okay, so I will keep it these libraries as well as some regular variables until here. Okay, so then I can delete these things. The date part also we can take it to reference. We can sequence also we should required. And then these variables are more or less similar, so that we'll keep it. Okay, this step might required. Okay, fine. Here, and then what all are the data sets we have? Okay, VS2, VS3 and VS4. First we will take the VS2. Okay, so if you take the VS2, what kind of test series we have in this VS2? Okay, SysBP we have, diaBP we have, pulse we have, temperature we have. Okay, so it means, so these four test series captured from the VS2. So then first we need to map for those things. Okay, so we'll take the VS2 here. First of all, we'll run this. Rows data VS. Okay, let me check. Okay, so this is the data. We need to find then where is those variable. Okay, so this is BP and diaBP, all these things. Okay, so if you can see, okay, yeah, so if you can see here the VS2, the VSORRES3 is the SysBP variable. So VSORRES4 is the diaBP variable. VSORRES5 is the pulse. 6 is the temperature. Okay. So we'll go for it and then map it. Okay. So we'll start with the first these variables: study ID, domain, new subject ID, and okay, these three are the common variable for all. So VS sequence, as I said, this we can derive at the end of the programming. Why? Because the sequence should be supposed to do the at the end. Okay. So these three variables, okay, study ID, domain, site ID, okay, subject ID, okay, user, okay, fine. This we have it, okay. So now we'll start with okay, so I want to explain one more logic here. It depends on the individual programmers. Okay, so whenever we are doing the finding domain programming, so whenever most of the cases you will have the more than one raw data sets. If you can see here the 3 raw data sets. So here if the structure of the raw data set and then everything is looking similar, then what you can do is that these all 3 raw data set you can append very initially for all one data set. So thereafter you can start the one-to-one mapping and the transposer, output out, or whatever it may be. Or else you can do take the one by one data set, you can map it individually, and then at the end you can append all these 3, and then later you can go for the derived variables such as the sequence and then study day calculations, baseline flag. These variable you can do end of the programming. It depends up to you, okay, which browser you want to do and then all this thing. So since you are learning stage, so I can do the individual level so that you can easily understand. If I club everything, you might be difficult, but it's not that much difficult, but it would be better. You can do the individual thing, okay. So now fine. Okay, so the first VSORRES3. Okay. So the variable name VSORRES3, this one, okay, numeric one. And the same underscore raw is the character. So we can take the character then, okay. If not really required, I think, okay. So the VS test okay. So what is the VS test CD? Test BP. So VS test systolic blood pressure. Okay. And what is the result? VS or ES, right? So the VS or ES, this variable. Okay. So we can take this. Okay. VS or ES equal to strip of VSORRES 3 underscore raw. Okay. So this is the character variable. You have to use the strip function. Okay. Next. Then VSORRESU equal to MMHG. Okay. Then we can do output. and semicolon. Okay. So what it does the output statement? Can anyone?
Convert horizontal to vertical.
I'm not asking application. So what is the output statement will do here? Generally, when you learn the SAS, right? This everyone practice what it does output statement. PDB concept అయిందా మీకు? PDB concept అయిందా?
Sir, it will give current data. It will not stop data step.
Means it will not stop dataset means? This is the basic statement, right? If you doesn't know this one means you have to practice a lot. That's for sure.
Sir, if we have 100 observations there, in 100 observation wise, we will get that, sir. VS test wise, VS test wise.
So my question is that generally output statement, what it will does in any SAS step, in the data step, what it will does. For example, if I'll ask what it does this proc sort, it will sort the data based on the variables which we given in the bus step, right?
It will give the prints output.
Likewise, I'm asking what it does the output statement. Simple, right? It will give the data set to output. I mean, until here, what all are the records which is processed in the PDB, those records will be output. Right? Whenever we use the output statements, multiple output statement, so the same kind of variable we are repeatedly creating, then we have to use the output statement so that it will not override. If you remember in the PDB class very properly, there is a basic class, I think it's a third or fourth class, I'm not sure whether you have the PDB concept is to understand bit tricky, but if you understand your SAS would be easy. If you understand the PDB very properly, you can easily assume that what is your output, what is going on the back end in the SAS. I'm not sure, but you have understand the PDB concept very well or not, but the PDB concept is very, very important. Okay. Okay, so if I run this one, if you can see. So these are the variables which we created, right? Okay. So now what we need to do that we can do the same step for the another test series for the diabetes. Okay. For example, these set of things which will be repeated. Okay. If I don't use this output statement here, when I use same steps for the next diabetes, thus diabetes records will be override by the SysVP records. So that will be override until the last test series, that is only will come into the output. So that's why we need to give the individual output for each and every test series. Okay. So in that way we can convert it to horizontal to vertical. That is the logic. Okay. Is that clear for everyone? అర్థమైందా?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So okay, then in that case, okay, I just copied that. Okay, DIA BP. So the diastolic blood pressure. Okay, and then the result variable would be VS over RES4. And
Sir,
then
I have done.
చెప్పండి.
Sir, we can derive the values from specific data sets. So why you are writing the hard coding, sir?
Where I am doing the hard coding?
These values are dia, BP, or SBP.
SBP, DIBP, this is the test SCD you have to assign. These are assigned variables. If you go any study, it is not going to capture in your raw data. These are the assigned variables as per the coding terminology, control terminology. You have to assign these things. Okay, this is not a hard coding. You have to assign. Okay. For example, if already test CD capture in the raw data, what is point to convert it? What is your requirement of the programming team? The data is captured in the direct SBP, DABP and everything in the SAS, SDTM format. What is the point to require the SDTM programmers? Right? So if you go and check the raw data, do you have any SBP, DABP variables here?
No, sir.
Then how can you map it?
If it is there, we can get. Okay.
That's why test CDC will not, you cannot one-to-one mapping. That is for sure. Even though here the variable name like SysBP or DABP, how can you assign that? That is the result variable, right? How can you get the test SCD name? It is an assigned variable. You have to assign it, that's it.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Is that clear?
It's clear.
Okay. So the next record would be the DABP. So the result units also same. The only one thing it is changed. Okay, here. Okay. So if you can run it, so here it will give that. So if you can see the first SBP, the second record would be the DABP. So it will append the data. First we have the only SBP, right? The previous now it is. Okay. If we don't use this output statement, what we'll do in the PDB, each and every PDB, when it run the iteration, one variable we can hold only one value. So unless the new value comes in the particular variable, until then the PDB holds the same value for the particular thing. So if you can see the first iteration, the VS test schedule, this is BP. When it comes to the iteration 2, then it will come to the DABP. So if we use the output here, this will be outputted in the iteration 1 itself. Then again it will already, again we will output, then the records will come. Otherwise, if you don't use this one now, so the second iteration will override with the DABP, then you will lose this data in the output statement. Okay, so that is the logic behind it here. Okay, so now tell me, I'll ask the one question here. So in VS2 we have a 4 test. Let's assume in the VS raw data set 10 records. So in the output, when we do the output out statement and then we convert it into SDTM data set, how many records will come?
40.
Yeah. So the 40 records will come. So it's always your test into your raw data set records. Okay, the rest of the things is similar. Okay, I can say that the finding domain program is a bit easy. So you can again E5. Okay, so we also use 5. Just a moment, it got stuck. Okay, so the next I will do it for pulse. Here we can put the pulse here. Okay. Here it would be 5, and then your unit should be beats per minute. Okay. What is the test next? It is temperature. Test temperature. This should be 6, I guess. Okay, and then so unit should be centigrade. Okay. Again entered. So we have only four test series. Okay, what we will do, we will keep the whatever the required variables. Okay. So then we can copy from here, study objective test series yes, u. I think this variable, that's it.
Sir, tell me that concepts are notepad. Not announcements.
I have explained right previously.
Actually, I didn't get, sir. I tried it, but I didn't get, sir.
Okay. It is simple, okay. What I did, okay, when I copied from the Excel, okay, you will have the multiple places here. I just, okay, if you want to replace any word or anything with any other thing, okay, in the SAS what you will do, translate function will, right? In the Excel what you can do, so or any word, here also, Control H, Control F, first you can find the Control F. So it will come. If you go the Control H, it will come like this, find. So what you want to find it, that text you have it here. What you want to replace with this, that's it. I mean, here the multiple spaces with the single space, I did the replace, that's it. Okay. This is a general basic thing. Okay. If you can see the required variables, this comes. So we haven't updated. This is the VS actually. It's not DM. Yeah. If you can see this, so the data in the vertical nature. If you can see the series is BP, pulse, temperature, and okay, this one comes like this. Now we have to repeat for the same thing for the rest all the three forms. This is the VS2. We should do for the VS3 and VS4 as well. Okay. Got it? It's a copy paste thing. Where is VS? The next would be the VS3. So if you can see the VS3 also same 4 test series. Nothing will change. Okay, here one thing we can do it, okay, in the VS3 and VS4 at the same right, okay, we can set okay, date variables also we have to do it. VS2 DAT, okay. So we have to do for the date mapping. Here we can do it that VS DTC so what is the date variable? We have to check in the raw data. VSDAT underscore raw variable. The same logic, okay. Generally, if you can go any date, particular date, I think where we did that, okay. as well, the same logic. Okay. So one thing in SDTM, there are multiple variables, okay, with the similar logic, okay, across all the domains. So whenever you are doing the program, you can copy from the logic. That would be advantage in SDTM. Okay. So VSDAT underscore log. This variable you have to keep it in the keep statement. Okay, sir. Good. The date. So the same you have to repeat for the other data set. Okay. So but VS3, I think we don't have the date variable if I'm not wrong. Yeah, we have the same variable. Okay. Yeah, in that case, no need to do anything. You can add simply this is entirely same. Only your folder structure would be different. That's it. Your job would be done. Yeah. If you can see with the same subject, this is BP, diabetes, pulse temperature.
సార్ ఇందులోనే VS2 అండ్ VS3 రెండు ఉన్నాయా సార్ ఇప్పుడు?
Yeah. If you can see, I have filtered one of the data subject. So these first 4 records will comes from the VS2, and then second 4 records comes from the VS3. So if you can see, the dates would be differ. This is captured on SysBP 2013-0604. Here is the 2014-0605 after 1 year. Okay, you got it? So basically here your raw variables are similar, exactly similar. That's why it is advantage for you to, you can set up the same thing. But your raw variables are different and some folder structure are different in the raw data set for the 2 vital signs. What you need to do that, the same thing you have to do for the another data set. Later you can append it. You got it? Arjamaina?
Sir, you said some sequence, no sir?
Which sequence? Which sequence? I didn't get your question.
Sir, you said that sequence can be done in the last, sir. What is that, sir? In the starting of the class, you said.
This one, vital signs VS sequence variable. This we can derive in at the end of the program, right? That we did in the AE also. The same thing I explained. Same logic we can use for that. So this is the piece of code, the sequence. Okay, so the next data set would be the VS4. Okay, if you can see here the VS4, okay, these three are the similar four. Apart from this, we have it two more tests, height and weight. So what we can do, we can copy the same program, put it here. We'll do that for the VS2, and your data set would be VS4. Okay, this you can keep it as it is. Okay, these all are the same. Okay, why? Because if these are also the similar variable names, so only we have to do add these two. Okay, then we go. We'll add for. Okay. So WIGST weight. This would be WIGST. So the result variable would be 2. And then your units would be kg. Okay. The same thing we can do for the height. We can remove W and put it height. Here also height. We can see the 7, the variable name. And then height would be in centimeters. Yeah, that. Okay. So we have to check for the VSDTC as a similar variable or not in the VS4 raw data set, right? The date variable, yeah, so VSDT underscore raw we have. So it will work for the date also, entirely similar. Okay. So now you can go and check. This is for your thing. So if you can see here, height, weight also added. So the height, weight are the results here. Okay. So now the both data set we will append, and then we can derive the some common derived variables. Okay. Is that clear so far?
Clear, sir.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So the remaining other common variables we can derive it. Okay. So this we can do at the end. This one is VS, STRESU, STRESN, STRESU. Okay, these four. Okay. So the basically remember, okay, the original results are which is nothing but which is captured in the raw data CRF. So the standard results character, standard results numeric or nothing but okay. So the most of the cases your original results would be the standard results. Many trials. Okay. Especially when it comes to the VS, that would be same. Only there is a very less chance that might be different in your LB domain. That is also nowadays it's not coming. So the why? Because for example, if the same study different across the different sites for the same test captured in the different units, then you have to convert it into SS standard units. So there your originals would be differ the difference units, and then your standard would be differ. There we can convert it to the conversion factors. For example, I'll give an example. So for example, in the weight we can consider as a kg in India. But the European sites they can consider as a pound. So what we need to do that the kg is the standard unit for weight. So we have to convert it. Okay. So then if you weight 2 kg, then it's that pound into 2.25, 2.2 something. We can do the conversion factor. Then we'll get the kg. So in that case, original results would be the in pounds. Then standard results would be in kg. But here the most of the cases, the both are similar. So then what we need to do, we can do the one-to-one mapping, okay? So then VS, ST or ESC, the character results original, we can directly assign VS, ORR, ES. Okay? Then next VS, ST or ESN equal to, it is a numeric version. So numeric version, right? What we need to do that, we can convert as a numeric. So how can we convert a character to numeric?
Strip.
Strip does that character to numeric.
Input functions.
Input of VS, ORR, ES, comma, best dot. We can use some question mark. Okay. The next would be VS, STR, ESU. Okay. So this variable is equal to, so the same VS or ESU. Because same similar. Okay, these three variables done. Okay, so the header tab, how they assigned this visits, visit. Okay, they have given this folder name. Okay, that you can assign to here. Okay, basically, so the visit variable should be derived in the SV dataset that we can merge based on the dates. Okay, you will get that visits. Okay, so but since here it is not done, you can derive it here as well. Okay, so there's a two-way things. So what we can do here is we'll go for data and then we'll keep it that folder variables. Okay. Yeah. So this is the folder variable. If you can see the folder SCRN means the screening visit. If you check in the here, SCRN is the visit num 10. This is the screening. So this CNR is equal to baseline day 1. Okay. So what you can do is that you can create one format, or you can do the if then else condition, whatever the things you can assign. Okay. I will show you for one thing. Okay. So we'll keep it the folder name. We'll keep it. SCRN. If this is matching exactly, then we can assign. So Q1 to set develop visit one. Save if you visit one dot one. Okay, the folder equal to this, then do visit equal to visit num equal to and then end. Okay, so this way we can loop for the all the visits. Okay, so if we can see, this is a folder name. If it's a screening, okay, I'll show you the 2-3 things. Okay, you can do it for the rest only. Okay, the next your visit would be screening. The visit number would be 10, I guess. Right. So, for example, ENRL, the same thing. Okay, I think I can put in one line alt. Okay, this baseline day 1 is your visit name. Visit num would be 20. Okay. Likewise, you can add all the rest of the things. Okay. So week 4. Okay, so likewise you can add the same rest of the visit. I will write it here. Okay, okay. So I just said that please repeat the rest all the visits from header tab in spec. Okay, if you go in the spec, okay, you will have a header tab. Here is the folder name and then your SGM visit and the visit name. You can do for all the things. Okay, so until here you can do that. Okay, so this is for the specific one of the form. Let's forget about that. I think the vendor or might be, but you can copy as it is this. Okay, is that clear? So for now you might get the visits missing here, but whenever you do the program you can do it. Okay, the next variable should be
Good.
so the VSDT is we did, okay, VSDY, okay, and then baseline flag also, okay, baseline flag, VSDY, and then the sequence. These 3 variables are pending, so that we will continue by tomorrow. So these 3 derived variables, and then after that we'll move to the another program. Okay, so is that clear? Do you have any questions? Completed the other DM and AE, first you can complete that and then come to the VS. Okay, so as I said, okay, I'm not going to stop the classes for your practice sessions. Okay, I'll as soon as possible I'll complete my part of the portion, so that okay, in this folder only, in this clinical project new faculty, there you will have a raw data. You can copy from here. Okay,
Is it in remote desktop, sir?
yes, it's a remote desktop. You can ask to Natsuma Reddy, will guide you how to take that.
Okay, sir.
Okay then. Okay, is there any questions from anyone?